the history of this one, do you, Lovey?
Well, I have to be honest, I'm not really looking forward to calling this match. I mean, you see that ominous barbed wire right there surrounding the ring. No ring ropes. Anything goes in this one. And
in being serious, in all honesty, it does. I mean, just look at that picture right there. It looks like a war zone already.
We're going to see people bleed in this one. We're going to see people get hurt.
No handshakes.
We're going to see careers change forever in this one. We're going to witness a match that I never thought that you would see in ROH.
Think about it. Barbed wire was invented to keep cattle in and to keep thieves out. Barbed wire will rip you to ribbons, believe me. I've seen Steve Corino in barbed wire matches before against the likes of Terry Funk. Now, Homicide's no stranger to barbed wire himself. Obviously, he came dressed to fight.
I have to admit that I have butterflies in my stomach right now. I'm a little nervous watching this match, thinking of what these two men are going to do to each other.
Homicide backing Corino in. Now, Corino's got to be mindful of where he is right now. Corino's too close. Whoa! Corino just fell out of the ring, Lovey.
That's what I'm talking about. The match is so dangerous. If there were ring ropes there, that would not have happened.
He's on his feet. Did he hit the wire at all?
No, he did not hit the wire, but he took a rough fall to the floor. And look at Corino saying, I can't grab it. And he's right. There you see Chuck LeGrand in the corner of Steve Corino, as well as the Young Boys and Bobby Cruz, the ring announcer.
Well, conversely, Homicide has Julius Smokes in his corner.
The devil's son-in-law himself. And right now, both men scoring off so much hatred. You mentioned about the background. I do have to mention the background a little bit. You had bitter friends, stiffer enemies. That match of the year bloodbath, which Homicide won when LeGrand threw in the towel, and he had to, because otherwise Homicide was going to end Steve Corino's career. As right now, Homicide on top of Corino. Then, of course, the infamous riots in New York. Steve Corino leaving ROH for several months after that. The second anniversary show. And look at Homicide. He's going after that ear. Corino is deaf because of that slap at bitter friends, stiffer enemies from Homicide.
Wait a minute. Corino holding the wire.
Corino, yes, he's trying to avoid getting his forehead into the wire. Homicide tried. No, Corino fighting back. And this is almost inhuman what we're watching here. I almost feel like a sick individual just for calling this, for witnessing this. Oh, both men just avoiding the wire. And of course, the feud all started at the first Glory by Honor when Corino and Homicide were actually a tag team and they lost to the Backseat Boys. And after Corino accidentally hit Homicide accidentally hit Corino, and Corino purposely hit Homicide, and the egos just exploded from there, especially Corino's. And Homicide just illustrating how sharp that barbed wire is, that barbed wire just shredding that piece of pizza.
Yeah, this ain't no joke. Well, Corino's young boys being mindful and respectful, staying out of Homicide's way.
Of course, way back in 2002, November, a year ago, Homicide trying to take out Steve Corino's eye in the locker room at All-Star Extravaganza. And then, just earlier this month, Main Event Spectacles, Corino attacking Homicide after his match, going right after the ear of Homicide. Of course, Corino deaf in one ear for life because of that slap of Homicide at bitter friends, stiffer enemies. So a lot of hatred, a lot of intensity in this one.
I was actually just going to ask, but I guess pinfalls count as the ref went down.
Yep, pinfalls do count. And
backslide by Homicide.
Homicide going for the win early. I kind of like that strategy. Get out of this one pain-free, and Homicide can say he's 2-0 against Corino. Although Corino did win that first anniversary match, but Homicide can say he won the final two matches.
I don't think this one's about wins and losses. It's about Corino getting getting his ear back. I mean, you better believe he's looking to maim Homicide.
Maybe you have the inside scoop on this one, Punk, since you are friends with Corino.
Wait, don't worry about my business and don't worry about...
I mean, what is the relationship with you and Corino? Are you guys friends?
What did I just say? Are you deaf like Corino or do you want to be?
All right,
I said don't worry about it.
Let's get to the match. It's also why I'm not talking about you just laying out Christopher Daniels. Unbelievable what we just saw. But let's just get to this match right here.
With his own finishing maneuver.
Yes, I'm sure you're very proud of that.
Damn right I am. Oh.
But hey, you still don't know who attacked Lucy, as Corino almost in the barbed wire.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I know it wasn't Steve Corino.
Oh! God. Out of nowhere, Homicide, the first one into the barbed wire.
Julius Smokes looking on with concern on his face.
Homicide going with the old school natural born sinners. Oh! The old school natural born sinners look.
No, he's just digging that barbed wire into Homicide's head.
And Homicide is going to be busted open. No doubt that that barbed wire was shredding the flesh of Homicide, and there it is. And there it goes again. Steve Corino using that barbed wire one more time. Look at that piece of barbed wire just jabbing into the side of the face of Homicide, ripping at the flesh.
You know, and I can't say he doesn't deserve it, but it's still hard to watch. Corino just absolutely, oh! All right, now that's just nasty.
And that's what this match is all about. It's animalistic.
Come on, David, dude!
Julius Smokes keeping an eye on his best friend.
Can't understand
Homicide.
a word he says. It's all clicks and buzzes.
Uh-oh, Homicide's in a bad spot. No, no.
This is gonna kill him.
Bullshit!
I was trying to note before that Homicide is wearing the old school Natural Born Sinners outfit because that is when he's at his most violent.
He's already a bloody mess.
Steve Corino, gutsy decision on his part, just wearing his tights.
Well, he likes to show off his physique that he worked so hard to attain.
That's so hard at the bar.
I'll have you know, Corino hits the gym 7 days a month.
Jim's bar. And we have a barbed wire bat and a chair. Oh! Oh, DDT on the bat after a chair shot. Corino's got to be busted open after that.
Busted open? He might have just lost an eye.
And look, Homicide's got a fork. He's got a fork.
It's a stolen fork, no doubt. Probably stole it from some buffet that he obviously didn't pay for either.
And
This man's just a cheap criminal.
Homicide stabbing Corino. Homicide used that fork on Corino. Corino actually used a fork on Homicide almost a year ago. And look at Homicide just butchering Steve Corino. Oh, look at the crimson is flowing. Both men are going to need stitches after this one. They knew about it going in, but they hate each other so much that they're willing to make that sacrifice in order to cause pain on their opponent.
Corino smartly avoids the barbed wire.
Instead, he tastes that steel. Both men bleeding buckets.
Already both men bleeding. I guess it's to be expected in a barbaric match like this.
And Homicide, you know that he has to be enjoying this. He hates Steve Corino. Oh, he went right for the ear there. He went right for Corino's ear. Julius Smokes taunting Corino. You know, Homicide, he has to be having the best time of his life right now. He remembers that Steve Corino cost him that chance at Final Battle 2002. He knows that Corino attacked him at Main Event Spectacles. He's going for his retribution right here.
Retribution? You took the man's hearing. That's a big difference between helping him lose a match.
And he looks like he's not just trying to take the hearing, but trying to take the entire ear of Steve Corino right now. I didn't think anything could surpass the brutality we saw at Bitter Friends, Stiffer Enemies.
No.
Oh, stops that bat right in the side of the head of Corino. I can't believe what we're seeing. This is barbaric.
He's done enough damage to that ear.
You might not ever see anything like this in Ring of Honor again. I'm getting a little sick to my stomach, I have to admit it. Oh, once again, Homicide going after that ear of Corino. I think Corino's bleeding from the ear.
Of course he's bleeding from the ear, genius. He just stomped the barbed wire bat in the side of his head. You know, Corino's got a 6-year-old kid.
And he is in attendance. Colby Corino watching this right now.
Oh, he's just raking his head across the barbed wire.
That barbed wire, it's piercing, it's cutting, it's stabbing into the flesh of Steve Corino.
You see Charlie the Grand looking on right there.
I have to admit, I don't like Steve Corino myself. He has no respect for Ring of Honor, or most importantly, the Ring of Honor fans.
What do you know? Look what this man's doing.
Well, he hates the Ring of Honor fans. The point I was going to make is that even though I hate Steve Corino myself, I don't want to see any person subjected to this kind of brutality. And Homicide has that bat wrapped in barbed wire. Oh, across the top of the head. Is there anything he won't do?
I'm almost speechless. Yeah, don't go for a pinfall victory. You're disgusting, Homicide.
A low blow by Corino. Homicide monkey flipped upside down into that wire, and look how his ring gear is torn. Can you imagine if that barbed wire is shredding fabric like that, what it does to humans' flesh, what it does to your skin?
I guarantee you it's not just his gear that's torn. That barbed wire went straight through and cut his legs. I guarantee you.
You're right about that. Homicide definitely has to have cuts all over his body. Severed flesh in this one.
Whip and a reverse and Homicide up and over, upside down into that guardrail.
But look, he also landed in a strand of barbed wire, and he's getting wrapped in it as he rolls around.
Oh, it's a damn shame.
I think I see some lacerations on the body of Steve Corino as well. Homicide into the steel one more time.
These sick, disgusting, depraved human beings called Ring of Honor fans just want to see more. It's kind of ironic. They came here to see the most athletic wrestling in the history of the business, and they get a barbed wire match.
That wire has to be digging into the back of Homicide's knees right now. That could cut a ligament. Homicide's helpless. No, Corino's gonna kill him. And Julius Smokes comes to the aid of Homicide.
Charlie the Grand right in the face of Julius Smokes.
No code of honor in this one, obviously, and Julius Smokes had to save his friend there. Oh, look at Corino going right for the nuts of Homicide.
He hit him low.
Oh, Homicide had to get out of that predicament. And look at Corino bleeding from the ear, bleeding from the forehead. A few minor cuts on his body. Homicide has to be bleeding all over his body after tasting a barbed wire. Also lacerated in the forehead. And we still haven't even seen that barbed wire table. I fear that the worst is yet to come in this one. I do have to mention real quick, we have to pay the bills around here. ROHWrestling.com, RFvideo.com, 215-891-9404 for all your wrestling video needs. Over 5,000 tapes from every promotion you can think of, every wrestler you can think of. ROHWrestling.com, RFvideo.com.
Corino sent into the corner. Why would you do that to yourself?
That's how much Homicide hates Steve Corino. He's willing to sacrifice himself to cause more damage to Corino.
He can't even get out of the barbed wire.
That is how much Homicide hates this man. Steve Corino hates Homicide so much that he's willing to risk everything, his Japan career, to be in this match, to even the score against Homicide, to get one up on him. One of the most legendary feuds in ROH history is going to end right here, and I hope it ends soon, or else both men are going to have their careers ended in this one. Look at Homicide, he's positioning that table.
I almost can't watch this anymore.
I agree with you, Punk.
I know what's going through both men's heads. The sight of your own blood it does something to you. Trust me.
What a violent weekend it's been for ROH. First that steel cage match he had against Raven last night, and now this. Uh-oh.
Homicide hooks Corino for a suplex.
The table's coming in play. No, Corino blocks it. Corino saves his career. No. Homicide blocks that. Homicide blocked it. Headbutt.
And that's a telltale picture right there. The pain etched on Steve Corino's face.
Corino T-bone suplex through the table, wrapped in barbed wire. The barbed wire once again piercing the flesh of Steve Corino. Cover.
You know, I want to take a minute right now to address some fans that may criticize Ring of Honor, because Ring of Honor is supposed to be about athletic contest and wrestling as an art form. But you got to understand, you get a locker room full of different-minded individuals like these two. Kamikaze!
Cover, could be all over. No, who's gonna win?
What's gonna happen when you get a locker room full of guys like this? It looks like Corino's going for the Cobra hold.
This is what he defeated Homicide with at the second anniversary show.
Let me spit this out, Lovey.
Go ahead.
You get a locker room full of guys as diverse as the Ring of Honor locker room, and everybody's so talented, and everybody has the ability to be a champion, and they wind up not liking each other. And, and tempers flare, and feuds develop, and this is, unfortunately, the only way to solve them.
You know what? I can't say I agree that it needs to end this way. I'm having a hard time even watching this now. I mean, does it really have to get this far?
Relationships develop in Ring of Honor, and unfortunately, sometimes shaking hands isn't going to do it. Looking a guy in the eye and saying, hey, you know what? You got me this time. Ace Crusher by Homicide.
Hook the leg.
Cover!
He barely escaped.
I'm almost hoping this one ends soon.
Sometimes it just doesn't cut it. Sometimes you just can't suck it up. You hate somebody so much, you can't look them in the eye and say you're the better man. You just want to hurt them. You want to put them out so they never have the chance to beat you again.
Well, you speak from experience there, CM Punk after. Uh-oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. That hit Steve right in the head. We might have to stop it. Mike Keener, who was brought in for the show because he's an expert at these barbed wire matches, and he has to make a judgment call. He might have to stop this one.
Homicide doesn't know he's out. I think Corino's hurt. Corino's hurt.
That guardrail hit Corino.
You know, Colby's watching. He's 6 years old. Colby's watching this.
It hit him flush in the head.
He's out.
I don't know if I want to call this anymore.
I'm going down there.
Punk, where you going? Why is Punk leaving? Ray Morrow's joining me now.
I've been watching this. I'm almost speechless at what I'm seeing here.
I think I'm going to vomit after this match, to be honest with you, Ray. This is just sickening.
I mean, this is going beyond the bounds of professional wrestling, beyond the bounds of Ring of Honor.
And what are the young boys in Chuck LeGrand doing now?
They're setting up something. They got that guardrail that was in there, and they're placing it on four chairs there. Another weapon.
Julius Smokes trying to make the save, kicked out of the ring. And this looks very, very bad right now. Julius Smokes chasing Chuck LeGrand down. What's Corino doing? A Northern Lights bomb through that elevated guardrail. They went through the steel mesh. Careers are going to shorten. Careers could end right here tonight in Boston in the first ever, and I hope only ever, no rope barbed wire match in Ring of Honor.
And both these guys laying prone.
I can't believe they're getting up.
This is nothing but a contraption of death here with this barbed wire and all these objects and everything.
The double shot weekend, a weekend of grudge matches. And we saw it with Raven and Punk last night, and Corino irate. We're seeing it with Corino and Homicide. It's about careers ending.
And you were right in the beginning. This is definitely changing the scope of Ring of Honor. A match like this.
He's hurt. Just beat him.
I mean, this is the showdown right here.
All right, I have to put my personal feelings aside and just call this one now, because it has to end soon. It just has to. Homicide now.
Oh, baseball slide.
Takes out the legs of Corino. Shining Wizard, Corino down.
This could be it. Go for the cover.
No,
That's the F.
This is what made Chuck LeGrand throw in the towel. Bitter friends, different enemies. Corino with that injured neck and shoulder. Homicide trying to wrench it in. Chuck LeGrand might have to throw in the towel again.
What, has he got a towel? He's going to that bag. What does he have?
I bet you he's got a towel. I bet you he's going to throw it in again because Corino's got nowhere to go.
Throw it in. Wait a second. The hell's that?
It's rubbing alcohol.
My God, Lovey.
Rubbing alcohol right into the eyes of Homicide. And look at Corino. It going into all the open wounds on Corino's body, and it's stinging Corino too. But the goal was accomplished. The hold was broken.
And wait, we got a skirmish on the outside.
Oh, it's breaking down. Julius Smokes and Chuck LeGrand going at it. The young boys looking on.
I can't believe what we're seeing here.
Corino now getting to his feet, running on pure instinct at this point. So is Homicide in a clothesline. Cover!
Oh, 1 count.
I can't believe it. What are these two men going to do to each other? What's it going to take?
Corino, look, he's got him in a pile driver. Dropped him on top of his head. Is he going? Yes, for another one, and he hits it.
He could go for a pin.
Homicide might be out. That's 2 pile drivers if they're everything he's taken. And LeGrand on the outside, he's got a piece of that barbed wire.
And he's giving Corino those protective gloves. Why is Corino putting on those protective gloves?
Probably the only logical thing I see tonight. But there's gonna be some damage done here. That's barbed wire. And you can hear him screaming. Homicide screaming in agony. He's being wrapped up in that barbed wire.
Oh my God, he's gonna kill Homicide right here. He's got it around Homicide's throat.
Oh my God!
He's got that Cobra sleeper on.
With barbed wire!
That barbed wire could puncture the throat of Homicide. In fact, it is puncturing the throat of Homicide. Homicide, how can he escape this? There's no escape.
There is none. There's no escape from this.
Give it up, Homicide. Give up. Save your career and give up right now.
Oh, wait a second.
Smoke's just thinking about it. He's got to. Homicide's telling him not to. Homicide saying don't throw it in. But, oh, he turns him over. He's got the legs wrapped around him. There's no possible escape for Homicide. Throw in the towel, please.
And that's it. The towel. Throw it in. Thankful.
Julius Smokes had no choice but to throw in that towel. I admire him for making that decision. Look at that look on his face. He might have just saved 2 careers there.